So a whole bunch of organizations got really started, okay, more or less around the same time period. Many of them have failed. Now there's, you know, sort of out of the ashes, we see who's left, right? Why do you think that you guys have been able to stay the course, and you've, I would say, more than survived COVID-19, you know, the global health crisis too. So what is it about the workshop that has made it possible for that to happen?
I think for us, we had an initial focus that a lot of those other startups that you were describing didn't really had. They had good concepts, but we're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So Artisans Asylum is remarkably successful, and they have been since 2010, and they've grown and grown, and they're looking for a new building and a bigger building. And so we were able to start off with them as a business model, and then more narrowly focus on what it was we were bringing to the table. And I think our focus on entrepreneurship, startup companies, and business incubation is what's going to see the workshop continue to grow and provide, because it's like it's a value added kind of thing, where some makerspaces, depending on their size, they're more applicable to hobbyists, right? So yeah, you have access to the machines and equipment that you don't normally have access to or don't want to necessarily buy. You live in a 3-decker, you have no place to put a bandsaw, for instance. Mm-hmm. But hobbyists don't necessarily make money, nor do a lot of makerspaces have the facilities that an actual company really needs to bring a product to market or provide a professional service. And so they're subject to the economic downturns that everybody that's there is there with disposable income, where the workshop, there is a really big chunk of our community that's here making money here. Yeah. And this is their place of business, and it is remarkably cost effective for them to host their business within the workshop. And so in an economic, you know, on a bull market when everybody's flush, then this is a great place to come hang out, you know, take some classes, you know, get a hobby and practice, you know, play with your hobbies and stuff like that. And in a downturn, this is a great place as the means of production to make money, to make ends meet, to provide your local community and switch to the gig work that entrepreneurs are used to when you don't have a job. So you kind of, it provides a viable place to create your own job.
As well as job retraining.
Yeah, and job retraining too. So,
Yeah, like all the workers that are, you know, out of jobs in the performance and event and restaurant industries right now, can be able to pick up other useful skill sets that may be able to get them through while those markets are under pressure.
Yeah, so that's something that, like today's COVID economy, it took out industries, right? So your service industries got really decimated because all of your bars and nightclubs are closed down. But the manufacturing industry has seen a massive boom. You know, the demand for face masks, for instance, has gone straight up through the roof. Well, if you're used to be a waiter or a waitress, now coming to the workshop, you may be able to take enough classes to develop an alternative marketable skill set that takes advantage of the booming industry of manufacturing, for instance.
Right.
And that kind of workforce retraining. You know, you had mentioned earlier, Scott, about a lot of our, you know, jobs and stuff going overseas and the manufacturing capability kind of waning here in the United States. The product manufacturing is the second step. Before that, you have to actually make the machines to make the products. And those are all prototypes. Those are all innovations in and of themselves. Mm-hmm. You just don't see them as consumer products. And we've lost the ability to do that because prior to that, it's the individual that can machine. It's the individual that can solder. It's the individual that understands electronics, understands how to put mechanical systems together. And so the workshop is an excellent place for people coming out of Voc School, people coming out of the technical colleges to have that like gap proficiency facility where they can take and maintain classes and maintain their learning and maintain their relevance in their chosen field and actually apply it while they're looking for a job or while they're getting a product or service off the ground.
Which, by the way, is
in a way. Go ahead.
Right.